Hi. Well, I will do my final reflection video, but first we're gonna start answering these prompts and questions. Well, I think I I really like that we read a lot in like during this semester. We could read a whole book that was The Great Gatsby. And I'm not a person that usually reads. I really have hard times trying to read only one book in a year. So I like this because, well, I finally can say that I read a book during this year. So that's good. And we also read some short stories like The Black Cat by Edgar Allan Poe. And we also read some stories like from Ursula Le Guin and other authors. And another thing that I liked was that we expanded our knowledge about English literature because before this subject, I didn't really know about this matter. So it is very useful because if we want to speak with foreigners or English speakers or even with just people that uh, like reading, it is very useful because now we can say or we can have like something in common, and we can discuss about different stories and like the kind of style of these authors. So it is useful. I also like that you created, well, many activities that were a creative and not so common. Like we did some podcasts, like video reactions, and a t-shirt. I really like this project of doing a t-shirt because I really like painting and decorating things. So that's why I really love this. And and even if I was doing that project late, I enjoy it, and I even play some music for enjoying it more. I also like that during the podcast and video reactions, we practice English so we can have these conversations that are very natural and even funny and spontaneous. So I like this. And but about things that I didn't like too much was that, for example, a reading The Great Gatsby in this only 1 month was hard, at least for me, because I'm not so used to it. And another thing is about the technical issues that we have. For example, for looking for one episode that we didn't have in the classroom's computer, we had to look for this Dickinson's episode in internet, and as it had also this copyright, we couldn't like have it free. So it was hard. Um, so yes, it was the main problem. And another thing is that we didn't know an app for recording the video reaction while also presenting the the movie or the episode, not having these issues of copyright and having the like this screen banned, because when a movie is from Netflix or a series from Netflix, we have well, we cannot share this series in the, for example, here in Teams for recording or in Zoom. Sometimes we cannot have this, or we can have this issue. Um, Another thing is that as we were, um, well, we had different schedules, so it was kind of hard to meet in one place and watch the episode. At least for me, that I'm doing my social service, it was it was hard, but we did it. Um, but finally, overall, I think the class was great, and I like that you were right, the activities a lot. As I mentioned, maybe having more time for reading The Great Gatsby, maybe two partials would have been better. And also, yes, because two partial, at least we can read with a little bit more, like, well, slower. Yes, slower. And but it's only in case we have these students that don't read too much. And for example, another thing for waking up students would be implementing TPR warm-ups, because as we know, the schedule was hard, like starting classes at 7 a.m. We all we all were kind of tired, so having these warm-ups would have been better. Um, Another thing is ensure that these episodes and movies were available in classroom computer for not having any issue and not paying like Disney or Apple TV. Um, and also allow individual work for students that like don't have a schedule so free or so available. Um, for example, there are some students that are doing the social service as well. So for these students, individual work uh, could have been better. And finally, suggesting apps for recording this video reaction. Yes, I think that this literature, even if it's not so recent, not so recent, um, I mean it was written many years ago. Even if some stories or plays or poems were written at those times, they are having some importance and relevance in media of that are current. For example, a poll in the Netflix series of The Fall of the House of Usher, we have some references from many stories of poe. For example, a we can see a raven. The main story is The Fall of the House of Usher, and as well we have some characters that have names from other of his stories. Another example from is, well, the Dickinson series that is based on Dickinson's poems and life. And finally, we can see in the Lion King some references to Shakespeare's Hamlet. but in a child version. So we can say that the literature is present in movies and series. So I think that the objective was highly rich because we did understand this point. Well, as I'm doing right now, I am practicing my speaking. So, for example, I think the this object was also rich because, as I mentioned, we did the podcast when discussing the Great Gatsby's chapters and also the video reactions for discussing these series and movies. So we had to speak. We were not first, but well, kind of, but it was a way for us to do it. So I think it was good for us to improve our level or at least to feel more comfortable speaking in English because sometimes we don't have these opportunities in other classes, and as we are now in TOEFL classes, we are not practicing too much speaking um, in class. So it was very effective for us, and we can understand that um, this objective was rich. Well, I think it was rich because sometimes we think that literature is just like reading, summarizing, and maybe doing just exams or only quizzes. We did some quizzes, but it was not boring because they didn't have a lot of questions. And and I also think that um, the teacher, you, um, like you did a lot of kind of activities. For example, we usually don't do this in other subjects, like doing podcasts and videos. So it was like a creative way of trying to to make like a content subject into a funnier or interactive subject. So I do think that that this objective was rich. Final comments and thoughts. Well, as I mentioned, I love the creativity that you implemented in this class, and I really appreciate the effort you put in like organizing and creating the activities. Um, I think it is not an easy job because um, I can understand as I have seen my parents doing their lesson plans. Um, Sometimes we can well, as teachers, um, you have to like to plan carefully and to try um, to imagine ways of creating a subject or creating classes that are funny and also effective for learning. And it takes a lot of time for doing it. So I really appreciate your time, teacher. And I hope we all have you as teacher the next semester. Thank you.